Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, 4:20. See, about 6:30 this morning. We're here getting everything cranked up. I won't be cranking you up, but anyway, we got everything cranked up, letting it warm up. It's a little chilly this morning. It's about 40 degrees. It won't take long, it'll get warm out here. But anyway, the tire cat man, he's coming to work on my stuff. Hopefully he won't be here early. Maybe so we can get these first round of trucks out before he gets here. But anyway, thank y'all for stopping by. Stay tuned, we'll see what the day brings us. Well, everybody, looks like he got the tractor going. The breakdowns just keep coming. They cranked the tractor up this morning, they broke the belt. They got the cutter going. Sure is foggy this morning, I'll tell you what. Between the sun and the fog. But anyway, John in the cab over, he broke down.
You got it going, little fella.
He said he was on the way to work this morning, and Daddy told him that his trailer lights weren't working. And he pulled off to look at them, and everything was melted back there. So I guess he got a bad ground somewhere or something. But anyway, we still here, we still getting it. It'll be alright. I know I'll be glad visibility gets a little better. Well, we thought we had it going. Oh look, there's the boss man. There's our mechanic. Anyway, it's leaking water out the front of the engine. I think the water pump might be bad. Let me get to work before the boss man says something. Skin tight, skin tight. I see him, fella. I can see. How you doing on fuel? I'm getting kind of low over here.
Oh, no, we get those, yeah. You got
another third of the thing. Yeah, dual cab pull up. Right. Sometimes we might get some more on the other side over there. How's it going, everybody? As you can see, they still over there working on that tractor. They found one leak, then they found another leak, and now they're working on one more leak. So let's see, it's 12 o'clock now. So we ain't had but one tractor all day. And Loco, he throwing straps. Throwing straps for Skin Tight. Skin Tight had an operation Friday last week. So he can't do a whole lot of straining. But anyway, Tiger Cat man still ain't showed up. Bunch of trash here today. Yeah, it ain't going too bad. Let's see, we've loaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and get ready to load 10. It ain't too bad for only having one tractor. Pretty good. It ain't gonna last like that all day. He gonna get tired out for the day, you know. And I'll be glad to have my D-limit back. It ain't too bad. If it weren't so trashy, it wouldn't be that bad, but I guess I done got spoiled what happened. They got the cutter going this morning, and it's been seeming to run fine, so anyway, I hope all y'all are doing good. He's doing over there, making a mess. But anyway, noticed in the comments a few times y'all say something about the cutter man's pistol there, and I can't say for sure. It happened before I started working out here. But what I heard was Ray, the tractor driver, told him he was gonna bust him over in the face with a bottle, and drew back with a bottle, and he didn't ever hit him or nothing like that. But the next day, Sugar Ray was toting a pistol. he's been wearing it ever since. And that could be wrong, you know what I mean? I don't know. I weren't here, so you know, that's just what I heard. But yeah, you meet a lot of characters out here in the log woods, you know, especially around here. There's not a lot of, let's put it like this, there's not a lot of college graduates out here coming to work in logwood. But now Sugar Ray, he has some kind of college degree. I don't know what he's got, but logs around here are being known for kind of a rough and tough crowd around here. A lot of people, you know, like myself, I'm a 2-time convicted felon. I couldn't go and get a job just anywhere, and that's what you get a lot of out here. But the craziest person I ever met, we were working far from home one time, and there was a lot of big trees on the track, great big hardwood trees and pine trees all along a ditch that were going to have to be cut with a saw. And some guy, I can't remember how we got in touch with him. I think somebody recommended him or something. But anyway, we called him Smiley. He called him Smiley. That's what, he ain't have no teeth, but that's what his nickname was Smiley. But anyway, he said that he just got out of prison. I think it was like 15 years he spent in prison and all this and that. Anyway, that don't matter. He weren't never, you could tell he was a little off. Something weren't right. Whenever you're around him, you know, you get a funny feeling. And I remember one day we were all sitting in the lunch truck, in the work truck eating lunch, and this was when I worked with my dad. And Cookie Man, the tractor driver out here, the other one, he was working with my dad. And anyway, I don't know. It's kind of vulgar, so I ain't gonna say what was said. But needless to say, Smiley said something to Cookie, and he never ate lunch in the truck no more. But anyway, a little bit further down the road, he done great, man. He was good on the saw. He was fast. He was dangerous, and but he was fast. He could cut just as fast with a chainsaw as a rubber tire. So we kept him. He done good on that track, and the next track we had, there weren't really a whole bunch of saw work, you know, but we still kept him out there. Anyway, we get to work one morning and he's already there, and he's driving some man's truck. We thought he weren't showing up to work. He didn't answer the phone. He weren't at home. But anyway, he was living in a camper in this man's yard, and we showed up to work that day, and he's driving that man's truck. We didn't pay a whole lot to it because there was some junk metal on that track, and he said he borrowed the guy's truck so he could get the junk metal to haul it off. Anyway, we didn't pay no mind to it. The next day, later that day, he stayed later than we did that day. But the next couple days after that, he was acting weird. There was this one section of the woods where we had left a cut, and he didn't want to go over there. Every time he'd go over there, he'd get stuck and this and that. And so eventually, you know, he acted like he was drunk. We just thought he was drunk, you know. And my dad told my brother, he said, you know, go out there and just tell him to go home. If he can't do no better than that, we don't need him out here in that shape. So anyway, My brother gets him, tells him he's got to go home and this and that. No, you know, everything was fine. The next day he didn't show up for work. So, and the 2 next days he didn't show up for work. So my brother told him to go over there and tell him we didn't need him no more, fire him, you know, we weren't gonna come after him. And now everything went fine. About 2 weeks later, we were already had moved on another track and everything, finished that job. Alright. But we're at home, eating supper. All of a sudden the dogs start going crazy. I go peek out the window and it's 2 guys in a black SUV, tinted out windows with black suits on, look like the FBI. So I said, Daddy, I think the feds is out there. And no, he was like, oh my Lord, you know, what in the world could they want? Well, turned out that guy had killed the man that he was living with, and that's why he was driving his truck that morning. But what come to find out, he had buried the man in the woods where we were working using the rubber tire. Apparently he put the man in the head and toted him back there in the woods, dug a little shallow grave, and buried him. I mean, he ended up getting caught because to be honest, he was a crackhead, you know what I mean? He killed the man supposedly over $40. He asked the man to borrow $40. The man told him no, so he shot him. Shot the man with his own gun. But anyway, he got caught because he was using the man's credit card, going and spending all this money on the man's credit card and this and that. That's how they ended up catching him. But now he was a character now. And me and my dad, they found him and they told us where he was at. Me and my dad had to go out there and stump a whole bunch of trees, man, and it was crazy because we walked right over top of them and didn't even know it. But yeah, they had to come to the woods and they tested the head on the cutter and found traces of blood and stuff on it. And yeah, it wasn't, you know. And then they come back, I don't know, a couple months later, and you know, let us know that they found him guilty and he got sentenced to life. But he's definitely one of the craziest I've ever met. Hey there, man, it's just, you meet a lot of characters out here. A lot of characters. So, anyway, I mean, you meet a lot of good people too, you know. There's a lot of good people out here. Like George, he's a good fella, you know what I mean? Jasper, he's a pretty good guy. You know, we got a pretty decent crew out here. Now, that we rough, you know, rough around the edges. We all kind of rough around the edges, but who ain't? You know what I mean? But that was one of the things that worried me when I began to want to get clean and do what I had to do to get clean. I was worried about being able to keep my job, to keep working in the woods, because you know, especially around here where I live, drugs are heavily used in the log woods. You have to find a lot of drug users. Between boats, people that go out on boats, and people in the log woods, you find a lot of drug abuse. And you know, I don't know what, I can't tell you what the solution is or nothing like that, but there's definitely a problem. You know, you find a lot of people, because it's hard work, and you know, that, I don't know, I can't sit there and say that it's right, but you find a lot of people using drugs to help keep them to perform, you know, at their job, or to keep them able to perform when they go home after working all day. But that was one of the biggest things I was worried about, was would I be able to be around people, because at the time, you know, my dad had cancer, and you know, weren't very sure about what was going to happen with the family business, so I knew I was probably going to end up having to look for a job, and that was what I was worried about, because, you know, but, you know, luckily I didn't have no trouble like that. You don't, you know, it's kind of like how something can leave a bad taste in your mouth, and you no longer desire the taste of it. Whenever you see it, it'll disgust you. Like, say you get something you eat and it makes you really sick, and you don't never want to eat it again. You know, and just being around it or smelling it or, you know, seeing it will make you sick. And that's how it's done me. You know, I have no desire to abuse hard drugs. I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm perfect or nothing like that, but I don't have, it left such a bad taste in my mouth. I have no desire for it. And it hurts, you know, it hurts when you see people and you know they're in the same position that I was in, not thinking that there's not a way out, so, you know, thinking, not seeing what's wrong with it, not seeing that they have a problem. And I don't know, you got to know you have a problem, or you ain't never gonna solve it. You know what I mean? But I don't know, you know, but I believe it's very not talked about and kind of swept under the rug. Like, you go to 90% of the logging jobs and they don't drug test, they don't, you know, nothing like that. I mean, if they did, they wouldn't have no help. Yeah, it's not like there's a line of people out here wanting to come to work in the woods. And I don't know what the solution is, but I do know there is a problem. Yeah, I miss my dealing, I tell you. It weren't too bad when we had both tractors going, and Ray could hold the wood while Cookie Man raked it. But now that that ain't happening, the wood ain't very clean. It's hard. It's just, I don't know, aggravating. The wood ain't all that good to begin with, but it's my job to make it better than it is. And it's just, I can't, you know, you can't do but so much, especially no dealing. But yeah, I don't know what happened here, but a lot of these trees have rot in it. There's a lot of cat faces, rot. Something happened, something damaged these trees. Most time when you see a lot of trees in the same area with problems, they say wherever the mark is at on the tree, when something happened to it at a certain time in its life. And when you get a whole block and about on the same spot, there's always a mark, a cat face on most of your trees that's in the same areas, because something happened during that period of time and it damaged the trees. You know, I don't know enough to tell you what could have happened. You know, a bad windstorm, hurricane, a drought. You know, I don't know. So sometimes you just have to wipe the slate clean and start over. Mess like this is aggravating all these vines. My delimber could work. I could set it up there in it and hold it, you know, and run the vines out of it. And all these little toothpicks in here. Small enough you can pick them up with your hand, but you gotta get it. They don't want to see you throw them away. I think I've sat here and run my mouth long enough. I don't want y'all to lose interest. But anyway, I want to thank all y'all for hanging out with me. And Lord willing, I'll do the same thing tomorrow, the next day. Hopefully they get that tractor going soon. And we'll see what happens with the rest of the day. I'll check back in with y'all in a little while. Get it, Cookie, get it, boy. Alright, folks. It's 2:30. See, we still loading cat killer. Then I gotta load Skin Tight and Jordan. The tractor's still down. I don't know, Jimmy, the boss man left to go get the hose for it, but he ain't been back. I don't know if he might have had to go on the Tiger Cat to get it, and that's a good little ways from here. But, anyway, looks like he's cutting some wood a little bit closer. Finally. We ain't had but one tractor all day. But we'll end up with 13 loads today. I wish the Tiger Cat man, he ain't showed up. I wish he would have showed up today. Seeing how we ain't got but one tractor going. It'd be a great day for him for my loader to be down so he can go ahead and work on it while we ain't got but one tractor. But that's just the way it goes. He'll probably show up about the time we get the tractor going. But anyway, he's been riding all the way around. There's a little patch in the middle here where there ain't nothing. It ain't no good. I don't know if it's something they got a road built around it. I don't know what it is. What's in there? I ain't walking over there. But he's been going all the way around it. But he finally realized he could cut through right there. First, they weren't going to let us go across the road. They wanted us to cross further back, but it'll be alright. We'll clean the road back up. I know we're gonna hear some crying on the way home, I tell you what. Alright. Alright, fellas. Give me all you got. All you got. great day. Well, boss man is back. Boss man is back. Take some off. Alright everybody, it's 4:45. There goes the last truck. They still working on the other tractor out there, so I'm gonna process a little bit more wood and I'm gonna get out of this thing. I want to thank all y'all for stopping by and hanging out with me today. Y'all have a great night.